The icebreaker is the first speech given by a new member, and many people choose to talk about themselves because it's a topic they know well and something they can easily talk about. It also gives the new member the opportunity to share with us some information about their background, interests and ambitions. The objectives of the icebreaker is to begin speaking before an audience and to discover speaking skills they already have and skills that may need some attention. Tonight's icebreaker is going to be given to us by Vanessa O'Brien. Vanessa is a social media addict who loves Facebook, Twitter and Google+. One that I'm not up to speed with yet. I had to ask her what Google+ actually was. She has a cat called Marnie, who Vanessa serves. The cat doesn't serve her, she serves the cat. Vanessa's a professional house sitter and has been since 2007. And she auditioned for Big Brother and got through to the second round. She's been with Toastmasters for about a month now and was inducted 2 weeks ago. And her reasons for joining is that she wants to be a motivational speaker by sharing her story with other people. Her speech tonight is called Vanessa the Undresser, and it's a 4 to 6 minute speech. Toastmasters.
Alright, last Toastmasters, sorry. We'll get that right one day. Alright, whilst constructing my icebreaker speech, I actually ran into a problem that probably many people don't have. I actually had too much to choose from. I was really overwhelmed with like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What this? No, that, no. I couldn't decide, so I basically sat there and told myself, choose a year. 2001. Decided to choose 2001. This year started off unremarkable. I was on the dole and had spent many years on the dole, working odd hospitality jobs as you do on the Gold Coast. At the time I was involved in a relationship with a guy called Andrew, and we were still quite happily in love. The critical thing is that Andrew, he was involved in something called the 8 Ball Association here in the Gold Coast. He wasn't any old pool player either. He was at what you call the A grade level, so he was at quite a high level. The A grade pool association started up for the year, and me being the loving, doting girlfriend, I came along to every game. And of course it was free drink and pies. So every second week was a home game. This is important to note because the team he was playing for this year was Santa Fe Gold. Now here's the thing, where Hollywood Showgirls stands right now in Surfers Paradise used to be another strip club called Santa Fe Gold. Quite smaller, much smaller than Hollywood Showgirls. And so every second week we were spending time there. I was surrounded by the girls and what was happening because the pool tables were at the back. So anyway, I had no temptation whatsoever at first because back then I was actually, unlike now, a wallflower. I was a girl that would go to parties and I would hover around the food table because honestly I was scared for my life to talk to anyone and would cling on to any of my friends that I knew because I just couldn't talk to anyone else. I was so scared of that. I was a tomboy. I really wasn't, even though my boyfriend loved me and adored me, I was lacking a lot of self-confidence. Regardless, curiosity did, of course, eventually creep in. And I started asking the girls about the industry and everything. I came up with an initial plan. Remember, I was on the dole, so of course it looked good. It looked like a good opportunity. The plan was I would do indie, which is the last 2 weeks of October, and get out, basically. Make my money and run. However, that was until August crept around. I'd lost my only casual hospitality job I had at the time, and so I decided to move forward my plans for the month and decided, okay, I'll start in September instead of doing it in October. Now remember, I remind you, I was a tomboy, a wallflower, and me doing this was a big step because I had to approach the manager of the girls, and her name was Terry. She was a tall blonde woman, and I was intimidated by her, to be honest. And I came up to her and asked her, can I start? She said, yep, you start next week. That's pretty much all there was to it. I was a little shocked. She was actually that easy going to apply for a job. So I started the next week. The next week's date was September 12th, 2001. You guys might know this date by the common language of 9/11. Here in Australia, obviously it was a day forward, so we were with the September 11 attacks on September 12th. I started that night. Here's the thing though, I had absolutely no idea about September 11 attacks until I turned up to start my first shift at Santa Fe Gold. And it was only because Santa Fe Gold had these TVs, I was then informed about the attacks. Unfortunately, I had already started the shift. You pay a fee to start your shift, and so it was too late to back out now. Regardless, I did that for 8 years in the end, so what initially started off as just something to do for 1 or 2 months was an 8-year-long profession. But I do not regret it one bit. The reason why is because it allowed me to see the rest of Australia, something that I don't feel any other job could easily allow me to do. I could get a job anywhere. I've been to Kalgoorlie, been to a lot of parts of Queensland we've never seen, been to Melbourne multiple times and all this sort of thing. I've also been able to fulfil a childhood promise I made to myself where I told myself, when I was 16 and my family visited Las Vegas back then, I told myself I would come back when I was old enough and of legal age over there to really experience Vegas, which I did. I went over by myself for my own first international flight by myself because I had the money and I had the, of course, confidence to do it and fulfilled a childhood promise to myself. Another thing that it helped me to do was to get out there and win my first trophy of all things in a stripper comp. I really had not won a trophy before, and I really was proud of myself actually that moment because I have a dancing background and it allowed me to express myself in ways that I felt very natural doing. So in conclusion, in saying that, yeah, I'm saying it's all fantastic and a great me, all these things, but yeah, it wasn't always a bed of roses. It is the adult entertainment industry. However, it's like any job, honestly. It has its highs, it has its lows, and honestly, some of those lows were my own fault, so I'm okay with that. In the end, my biggest takeaway benefit that I left with this is it turned me from a wallflower to a woman. Thank you.